Welcome everyone to an absolutely epic episode of Primetime. We have a championship match to round out the night, as well as 5 other massive matches in the build-up to Crush. So, let's not skip a beat and head into our very first matchup of the evening. Well, we are certainly underway with Trick Williams making his way to the ring.
Scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Columbia, South Carolina, weighing in at 205 pounds, Trick Williams.
Now, I'm not gonna Booker T this, but Trick is in an interesting position here in IPW. In recent weeks, we've seen this man getting involved with Javon Evans. And tonight, he's stepping into the ring for the first time for action. But who is his opponent? As it is scheduled to be a singles match. I'm intrigued. Is it Javon Evans as his opponent? Or do IPW management have someone else in mind for Trick Williams? Clearly hyped and ready to go tonight is Williams. But can he survive the threat that is Bron Breakker? The Brick Shithouse.
From Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Bron Breakker
is an absolute badass who's realistically at the peak of his game, in the prime of his years. Let's be honest, he is slowly but surely becoming a main event star. And in IPW, this is where the stars absolutely do shine. Trick versus Bron, a matchup we've seen in NXT, but here on the main stage of Primetime, we have a main event matchup in our opener of the evening. We ready ourselves for action, for a war here tonight. As Williams looks on, as Breakker readies himself, we're underway and immediately out to the races. Here's Bron Breakker, both men meeting with jumping attacks to start off. And Trick utilizing his taller base to go to work on Bron Breakker. But Breakker is a hard man to stop once he gets rolling. You could literally call him a train, as he's actually gone for the Steiner recliner very early on in this match. Trying to wear down Williams. Obviously, both former NXT champions. Breakker then moved on, became Intercontinental champion in WWE. And he's starting to work here over Williams, who wisely rolled out the ring once Breakker took it to the second rope. Williams now grappling a hold of Breakker as our referee watches on. Moves out of the way, and we see a nice tilt the world gut wrench. Into the pin goes Breakker. And in the early goings, it's realistically only going to get a 1. Trick back to his feet. Quick and efficiently. Starting now to work over Bron Breakker to potentially set up for that trick shot. Obviously, we have seen Trick try to motivate a young Javon Evans here in IPW. In a matchup like this, Trick, he needs to have his own motivation, his own fortitude, because Breakker is a different kind of beast and is very hard to deal with, as Williams just lifting into that side slam from a prone position there. That was very effective, very unique. He's going to go for the pin off the back of it as well. One early kick out there by Breakker. And as we were saying, I was saying in the early going to this match, to stop Bron Breakker once he starts flowing and utilizing effective offense is a hard thing to do. We've seen the speed, the power, the explosivity that Breakker has in his arsenal. And here, as he connects with the spear, Trick is in trouble. Kick out at 2, surviving Breakker's rib-crushing offense. Trick, he's caught now and speared once more. Into the pin goes Breakker, and that is almost certainly what? It was almost certainly it. Trick, though, surviving on instinct, willpower. Breakker, he's looking to maintain the offense. Williams nips back up, but he nips up into the double axe handle. Breakker maintaining that tempo. This train is not slowing down just yet. The Trick needs to pull out some big time offense. Single leg Boston Crab applied. Breakker grabs the ankle, gets back to his feet, tries to uncork a right hand, but Williams, utilizing a bit of his own speed, agility, that fast reflexes to catch Breakker. This matchup features two up-and-comers. Realistically, two potential top stars in years to come. Bron caught now. Williams arm drag up into a rock bottom-esque maneuver. Williams now Irish whip. Trick shot connects. Breakker down, dazed, and potentially out. 1, 2. He somehow kicks out in the nick of time. Williams realizing he could potentially lose this matchup. He's found his strength. He's calling Breakker back up. The kick caught. Breakker turns it into an exploder. Williams finds his way back to his feet. Up to the second rope. Beckoning Bron to his feet. Williams watching on. In fact, he's caught. That was weird. Lariat from Breakker drops Williams to the mat, and a stacking. Trick stacked up. Breakker trying to steal it. Trick rolls through. Pinfall attempt here for Williams, and he gets it. Williams with the victory. As, oh my, Javon Evans enters the ring. Williams, stare down between these two men. Javon has not forgotten what happened at the beginning of last week's show. We said there was an unfinished score there, and it seems to be continuing into further shows. We'll have to see what IPW management does as we head towards Crush, Crush, Crush. Don't think this is supposed to happen. Well, it appears that we've got a fatal influence here in primetime action.
Is a six-woman tag team match on the way to the ring. The undisputed women's world champions, Fallon Henley, Jack Man Naman, and JCJ, Fatal Influence.
JC Jane, Jasmine Nix, and our women's world champion Fallon Henley in six-woman action here as they make their way into the ring. Henley looking ready to roll in that luscious outfit, and Nix and Jane also looking divine as they're looking to put a stamp on the women's division here tonight. How will this bout shape up? And it's Fatal Influence by JC. Matching gear. But their opponents, who could they be? This theme's unknown. But that looks like Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. Indeed it is.
Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend Meta 4.
The Meta 4, more like the Meta 2 here tonight. Jakara and Lash in this matchup have a difficult road ahead with a well-oiled unit in Fatal Influence. Obviously, the champ coming off of a win on Breakdown against Rhea Ripley in a very interesting matchup where, well, Fallon became mommy and realistically just took over in them matches. But who could Lash and Jakara's partner be? Well, this is certainly an interesting name. Sol Ruka.
And from Honolulu, Hawaii, Sol Ruka.
The surf is up and the tides are heading in on the debut of Sol Ruka here in IPW. Looking to make a big splash in this one. Alongside Jakara and Lash, that was certainly an interesting entrance. You can tell I've never watched this before. Splits into a forward roll over the top rope. This one, oh, and why is she showboating? That is a flex and a half before your debut. But when you've got the women's world champ in the opposite corner, you need a big time debut to certainly set the score. as Fatal Influence already utilizing the numbers game here. Shoulder blocks in stereo from Jane and Nyx. Jane now delivers a punch to Ruka. Calls Lash back up and gets the grapple. I think she was maybe looking for a springboard, but Ruka got involved and stopped it. But Jane able to capitalize still on the moment caused. Did get some offense down on Lash, but they double tagged in. Lash is technically legal, I believe. But Jakara on the shoulders into the shoulder block. What? Our referee's blind as ever. Somehow Jakara is still legal. Don't know how that one happened. But regardless, Fatal Influence still staying on top. They're going for it again. No, it's not. It's a hip toss into the double kicks. Fatal Influence obviously have their own individual strengths, but Jasmine Nyx, former soccer player, her skills realistically built off of the similar offense of JC Jane, both utilizing discus kicks, and realistically their striking is the name of the game. Fallon, the more rounded technical wrestler of this team, and we've seen it from her as she became champion. Jasmine now in control of Jakara, utilizing her long legs to kick, and now, what is this? Discus forearm into the pin she goes. That looked pretty, but it wasn't effective enough just yet to pick up the dub. Obviously, it'll wear down her opponent as finally the champ enters the ring. Double shoulder blocks, and Henley lets the tag happen. Ruka's now legal. And she's gonna miss. Both women missing. Springboard forearm strike there from Ruka. Effective. As she's getting her first taste of action here in the ring against the champ. It's certainly probably the most sought after thing for really any woman in the division. Just to face the champ, to get experience, to be able to learn what makes this woman tick, to know her weaknesses, especially in tag match where, realistically speaking, if you pin her, you get a shot. If you don't, it's only a tag match. And in a situation like this, Fatal Influence, a strong unit overall, it's a hard thing to beat them. So I maybe see this is a good testing block regardless of the result for the Metaphor and Sol Ruka. But JC Jane now in, just cannonballed into the shoulder tackle. Jakara getting involved for her team, targeting JC Jane here. Jane tries to take some action against Jakara, but unable to do so. Maybe now, as she's chasing her away, into the corner she goes, jumps off, somehow stays on top and delivers a body slam. JC Jane just skidding all edges of that cat. Fatal Influence tags in. Double super kicks. Ruka in trouble. Caught now by Nyx. But yeah, we haven't really talked about Jasmine Nyx. Obviously, she has been on one heck of a run here in IPW. I'd say potential challenger to Dakota Kai. Obviously, going into what was it called? AI Annihilation. She could have potentially had a title shot against the television champ. As roll through here, just pretzeling JC Jane there was Ruka, but face buster comes through. Certainly you have to feel that maybe there's a bit of frustration on Nyx, considering our main event tonight. That was such a pretty discus thrust kick there from Jane. Off of the reversal, the Irish whip, Lash tried to utilize, gets countered into a code breaker and that discus kick. Nyx now legal once more. We've only seen Henley once in this match. She knows her duo can do the work. And that stomp will certainly wear you down. Nyx now continuing her strike game up to the top rope. Lash in trouble. Soul's gonna get involved. And oh my word, Soul pushing Nyx into Lash. Could that be costly for the metaphor? As Henley, the champion in the ring, she's gonna put a finishing statement on this match, driving Lash into the mat. Fatal influence, the numbers game too much in their favor here. Lash trying to crawl to her corner, trying to get to safety, but she is trapped in a ring, and Henley ending the potential career before it even gets going. Jakara's in breaking it up though, as Henley tries to chop block Jakara. Falls short, but the champ, she's already utilized her opponent's finisher against her. Why not add some more insult to injury by letting her get out the ring? Roll up here by Jakara on the champ. Easy kick out by Henley. Nice RKO by Jakara. She's setting Henley up for something. Henley turns away. Gets pulled down to the mat. Reverse X Factor. Nyx in to break up the pin. And she's caught here by Jakara. Sent running the ropes. Just a waste of stamina. Henley though, because Jakara would turn her head away from the game. Henley is capitalizing. Stomping away. Dropping an elbow. Mommy knows how to make you suffer. As the undisputed champ setting Jakara up, potentially looking for the hoedown. Jakara quicker to the punch, evades that attack. And Henley nip up and catching an unsuspecting Ruka. And the champ, she don't want none of Soul here, it seems, as she tags out. Soul, we know that she has prevalent springboard offense. She's been unable to unleash it. Nyx into the cover here on Ruka. Notice Lash and Jakara watching on, not willing to maybe help their partner here. After Ruka's involvement in causing Henley as a Superman punch from Jasmine Nyx. Just flattens Ruka. Lash broke it up for the team, but how much of that is teamwork rather than wanting a cut of the winnings? Booty popping movesault evaded there by Nyx. She's got Ruka in her sights. Knees to the gut. And a lot of confidence on the face of Jasmine Nyx here. She's a deadly woman in this ring. Burning hammer into the knee. Exclamation point applied. But it's not enough just yet to make that statement hit home. I thought she tagged in Fallon. In actuality, it tagging in JC. Super kick into the pile driver. A combination so deadly. Jakara, I think she knows the match is over with if she didn't break that pin up. But unfortunately for her, a second, this time from a soccer star, connects and puts the exclamation point on a Fatal Influence win.
Here are your winners, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Jack Man Fatal Influence.
Fatal Influence, dominant as always, as Jasmine Nix, JC Jane make a statement alongside the Women's World Champ. A solid victory as we move into our next bout of the evening. Well, here tonight, after one instant classic tag match, we head to the men's division, where the phenomenal one makes his way to the ring.
The following contest is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
While it's certainly not a tag bout, it's a triple threat match in the men's division. Obviously, a statement was made last week by Will Ospreay in defeating his opponent. Tonight, potential challengers at Crush are making statement claims to the title, to a shot at the glory. That is the IPW Undisputed Championship. AJ Styles, one heck of a phenomenal wrestler. Submission offense, high-flying offense. But this man, he likes to bring the boom. And also a lot of bad news.
And his opponents, first, from Preston, England, weighing in at 246 pounds, Wade Barrett.
Wade Barrett here tonight. Bullhammer in tow. Looking to knock out both of his opponents. And treat it like an episode of IPW Underground. He's here, ready for this prize fight. To make that big statement against two opponents. We know one's AJ, the other is not a priest, but he's certainly got that dark side. It's Damian Priest makes his way to the ring.
New York City, weighing in at 249 pounds, Damian Priest.
One half of the Terror Twins. Damian Priest looking for everyone to rise for him. I'm certainly stood up to bring the commentary for this one. But let's be honest, prolific striker as Priest, but he does bring a power game. I'd say he is a well-rounded machine that kind of combines the style of Barrett and AJ. Maybe not as heavily as you would expect, but it's similar overall. To get into this triple threat match. Away we go. AJ and Priest targeting each other as Barrett watching on. Power bomb by Priest out the early goings. We said he had power. But AJ conniving, quick, and realistically speaking, a submission expert in some regards with his technical prowess. Phenomenal one. Certainly is that. Phenomenal. Springboard forearm. It looked like it may have missed, but it seemed to put Priest down to the mat regardless of the fact. And here's the thing about triple threat matches. Anything goes as a Pele kick connects, but a kendo stick hits harder. And Priest has already busted it into smithereens. In a triple threat match, it's interesting. You always have to have eyes in the back of your head. We know that the time that you get reprieve in this sort of match is the time in the match you're losing. You always want to be in the thick of the action or in a position where you can capitalize off of others' maneuvers. As Priest is getting back up immediately, back in the game, back in the offense, but having flow DVT there by Barrett kind of mitigates Priest's engagement. It's Barrett now, Irish whip, catching into the kick to the chest. Priest is caught and down. This is where Wade Barrett gets to have his way with AJ without really any involvement from Priest. Just unloading once your opponent is out the ring and he's setting him up for the wasteland. AJ gets out of his grasp, but he's into a flatliner from Priest. Border toss maybe here from Priest. Slams him on top of AJ. Goes for the pin. Barrett in trouble. 1, 2. Kick out. And a former Intercontinental Champion. Roll through. Calf killer here. Rope breaks in a triple threat match seems weird. Regardless, referee spots the feet in the ropes. What else will she spot here as Barrett now back in the match. Irish whip. Backdrop on Priest. Priest back to his feet quickly. And AJ looking to capitalize off of Priest's speed by catching him in the Styles Clash. Busts him open, and Barrett now wanting to capitalize off of AJ's deeds. All it takes is one pin on Priest. But the thing is, you're not given an opportunity to capitalize on it. Simply put, it never works out for you. Priest here on the outside delivering kicks and now a rolling forearm strike. One punch from Barrett drops Priest. Everyone in this match showing their offense, showing why IPW management wanted this bout to happen. We're already seeing the effects of the brutality, the terror that can be caused by adding Damian Priest. AJ locking him up into a submission in the ropes, obviously. AJ backbreaker, facebuster, inverted DDT, whatever you want to call it, regardless of the fact, it's going to potentially pick up the win. Priest kicking out, staying alive, but I think Barrett's got some bad news here. Powerbomb position for AJ, fighting out of it, trying to fight out of whatever comes next, but Priest catches a hold of AJ. These two kind of going toe-to-toe whenever Barrett's not involved. Barrett, brass knucks, connecting to AJ, goes for the pin. Priest stunned on the outside, gets back in, but he doesn't get involved because AJ kicks out in the nick of time. But Bullhammer connects and a big boot to follow up. Barrett not opting for the pin, instead looking to channel the game as the sledgehammer is in play. Finally goes for the pin onto AJ. 1, 2, 3.
Here is your winner, Wade Barrett.
Honestly, boom, is all that needs to be said. The bullhammer would have been enough, but exclamation point made by bringing in the sledgehammer. Barrett knocks out AJ and picks up the dub here in our third bout of the evening. We head to the women's division for our fourth bout of the evening. As well, it's time for someone cuckoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Jersey City, New Jersey, AJ Lee.
Okay, that is kind of a harsh statement. Only in her early career, I would say she was cuckoo. Towards the end of her run in WWE, she was conniving, she was calculated, and realistically, one of the best divas to ever do it. I call her a diva because that was her title reign. She was there before the women's title, and women got more respect, but she was ahead of the game. Agile, athletic, more than a diva. The submission technician led a revolution. Speaking of a woman in that revolution, her opponent tonight is about to make her feel the glow.
And her opponent from Orlando, Florida, Naomi.
Honestly, I'm gonna say it, I prefer her old theme to this thing, because this sucks. She got Death Rebelled hard, and that is no understatement. As Naomi making her way to the ring for action tonight, hyped up, bringing that dance energy, but that energy does not make the record that these two have against each other any prettier for Naomi. AJ Lee, when competing against Naomi, it was when she was a part of the Funkadactyls, and AJ beat her practically every time they faced off on TV. Naomi looking for some semblance of revenge, I feel, tonight, as going up against the Black Widow of IPW is no easy feat, especially one who is looking for victory. But similarly So is Naomi in her debut. Who will stand victorious here tonight? AJ looks confident. Naomi, calm down, ready to roll. And surprisingly, it's AJ out of the gates fast. Normally I would, as a split-legged drop there by Naomi come through. Just as a normal move, as you do. Nothing special. But Naomi, I was going to say, you'd expect to come out the gates fast. But obviously she weathered that initial attack from AJ and then started to unload her own offense. Springboard moonsault from AJ Lee. Not a typical maneuver you expect from her. But she is capable of taking to the skies. Obviously, you call her crazy, but capable of flying with diving elbow drops. Double axe handles. There you go. There's the elbow drop without even... I timed it on cue, basically. Anyway, kicks to the head here of Naomi, who finally finds her feet up to them. But, yeah, both women having submission offense in their game. Naomi developed that towards, well, in her more recent years as a competitor. Obviously, her main form of offense was that rear view, but that was a floaty drop kick that resulted in AJ being busted open. But as a whole, AJ into the pin here. How is that not in the ropes, regardless of the fact it doesn't amount to any count? AJ delivering a knee and now kicks. Picks up into Hanushi Garushi. Naomi forced to roll out, buy some time, and it certainly allowed her to get some space to deliver a strike battle. The women given an edge. But we look at how these two find themselves in this match. Normally, you'd expect gold around the waist of AJ Lee. But here in IPW, she's only recently made her debut, but she's going to start climbing up these rankings sooner or later. The women's division, obviously, a very massive field of combatants as the blood starting to trickle all over the face. It's been spread about so much by Naomi's fist and palms. Setting her up. Oh! That's like a heat seeker from MJF. Split-legged moonsault connecting from Naomi into the pin. She goes. AJ very close to the ropes. Could just grab hold of it. Instead, opting to utilize a bit more strength to power out of the pin. Naomi staying on top of the game, not allowing AJ to roll out. That's setting her up. She's in the drop zone. But AJ wisely suckering her up there to then toss her from the heavens. Naomi, we know her game, we know the skills she has. Another split-legged moonsault connecting on target, and victory is earned by Naomi.
Here is your winner, Naomi.
We're certainly feeling the glow tonight as Naomi takes a big dub here against AJ. We'll have to see what happens now as division starts to get shaken up. From one division to another. We head to the tag team division, where the Authors of Pain are making their debut. Akam and Razor.
The following contest is a tag team match set for one fall. On the way to the ring, at a combined weight of 620 pounds, Akam and Razor, Authors of Pain.
AOP. Ready for war. Battle suits on. And really looking to make an impact. A demolition unit of powerhouse offense and just no regard for their opponents. These two will tear the house down before you even step foot into your new home. It's already gone, and I'm sorry, but these two will have destroyed it. But who needs a house when you've got the smoke? We're gonna just get hyped up here because this is such a banger. Smooth stepping. The Street Profits. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford.
And their opponents at a combined weight of 492 pounds, Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits.
Ready for this one. Bringing the hype as they make their way to the ring. The current WWE Tag Team Champions. Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford. Bring power, speed, and honestly, they're the most well-rounded tag teams still in the game. Let's be honest, the energy that these two have is on another level. And it's kind of a polar opposite sort of feel to what the AOP are. It's the brash, party, fun types versus the party killers, let's be honest. As Razor looks on, ready for this one. We're underway with Ford taking it. Woo-hoo! Flashy offense out the gate. The Profits. They've got flash, they've got funk, and some of the most unique offense in the game. It's been interesting to not have them competing in IPW, but they're here tonight against the AOP, who get off to the races early, delivering a stomp to Ford. Nice tag team maneuver there. The slam driving him down the foot to add extra pressure onto the neck area of Ford. Looking to take him out of the game. I've said that the offense that the Profits have is a well-rounded game, but you can tell just by the early goings the style AOP has. That brutish power. When they grab a hold of you, you go flying and you go crashing so fast into the mat. You never see it coming. As Akam and Razor now legal. Tagging in Akam. once again, this time on Dawkins, stomping down on his chest, just crushing his ribcage, and now a dominator. Akam bringing some power against this big man. I'd say similar stature, similar build from Dawkins and Akam. Razor slightly taller, but as a whole, AOP yet again. Dirty tactics from them. Razor, the illegal man, just trying to land punches onto his opponent. Regardless of the position. But that was lovely from Angelo, and now he gets one back onto Razor. A thank you for the sucker punch. But the AOP think they've got the smoke where they want them. As Dawkins now delivers the splash. Montez Ford now legal for the Street Profits. Irish whips reversed there by Akam. Pinning in Ford. Gets a sprinting start, but caught by Montez, and now somehow turns it into a Samoan drop. Nip up there by Ford, but he's immediately into the backdrop toss. Akam and Razor, unwielding offense, looking to kind of bust open Montez here. Tag in. The AOP legal. Just neck breaker powerbomb combination. And Ford in trouble. Dawkins in quickly to break it up. Aware of the situation. Aware of what the AOP are doing. There's a tag. And once again, stomping the ribcage into the ground. Nice suplex there from Akam. Ford's on Dream Street. He's somehow found a way out the corner. But yet again, Akam staying on top. Headbutt onto Montez Ford there. AOP keeping him trapped in that corner. Knees to the chest of Ford and dropping him. Dropping that entire abdomen onto there. Dual knees. Ford's just been kept here. This is authors of pain. Just destroying Montez. Akam picking up some speed to deliver the knee. Montez finds a way now. Gets Akam in the corner. Away from his partner Razor. Montez Ford's looking to bring the smoke, but he's caught and dropped with a punch. Akam heading up top. Angelo Dawkins getting involved, trying to push him off. Unable to do so as a headbutt from Akam connects. AOP tagging in. Razor now, who's unleashing a bit of fury, it seems. Ford fighting up to his feet. Goes for the roll-up. trying to sneak the victory. Razor rolls through himself. 1, 2. So nearly a 3. Gator roll by Razor. Into the crossface. Just dropping Ford's head into the mat. The power that Razor possesses potentially could be the end as the drop kick connects. Too much time wasted by Razor there. Allows Montez to get back into this one. Party cups in the background. It's Ford. I was thinking, this is where he picks up the speed. Springboard off the corner, tries to go for the DDT, comes up short. Aiken now brought into the match. And he's utilizing his strikes. Ford into the powerbomb position and drop to the mat. 1, 2, 3. Systematic destruction by AOP.
Here are your winners, Aiken and result, authors of pain.
Isolation of Montez Ford led to dominance from AOP. Could they potentially do that to the champs? We'll have to wait and see.
The following is a fatal 5-way match and is for the undisputed Women's Television Championship.
Well, it seems that we got 5 women in this one, 4 of which challenging Dakota Kai for the television championship.
Introducing the challenger from Tokyo, Japan, Julia.
Our first challenger is Julia, whose recent victory against Becky Lynch puts her into this matchup. Dakota Kai has her work cut out for her tonight. With champion's advantage no longer in play, we're almost certainly expecting a new woman atop of the television division. But if she's capable of taking out 4 other women, she certainly sets herself as one of the best champs in in IPW, without a doubt. Her second opponent, though, looks to make this a moment of bliss. Wrong theme song.
From Columbus, Ohio, Alexa Bliss.
But Alexa Bliss, with Lily in hand, ready to go here in IPW. It's been a while since we last saw her. But tonight, Bliss, she gets a shot at gold. For free, some may say. But always a threat. It's Alexa. And she certainly looks excited to compete tonight. But there's no surprises.
And from Laredo, Texas, Roxanne Perez.
There's no surprises that Roxanne is out here tonight. Prodigy really has her eyes set on the television division for numerous weeks. And tonight gets her shot at the gold. And realistically, I think it could be her time atop of the division. Solid combatant, a very potent wrestler, and with the fact that all her signature moves can come at any moment, it's very hard to put doubters on Roxanne. But this woman, the champ, is a hard nut to crack.
And representing Damage Control from Auckland, New Zealand, the undisputed Women's Television Champion, Dakota Kai.
Kai looks ready. Looks like she is about to kill whoever is against her. Bang! The shots will come in, but with the fact that she isn't coming out last, it's a surprise to see her now. Because, let's be honest, Chelsea Green should have come out before her, but who cares? Because it's Chelsea Green!
And from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Chelsea Green.
Green recently picked up a big victory against Asuka. It's an interesting feat that most of the combatants in this match have beaten top stars, former WWE champs. And well, tonight, they're getting their shots. The champion, well, could potentially be in danger, because this field of combatants is ferocious and the action's gonna be explosive. I'm not sure how this will go, as the television championship is well and truly on the line. The bells rang. Julia and Green target each other to start this one off. Alexa versus Dakota. Dakota misses the stomp. Roxanne now turns her attention to Bliss as Dakota's actually getting a moment of reprieve watching on. Now, obviously, we saw earlier in the show a triple threat match. We spoke about how you kind of want to be an onlooker and not on the receiving end of the offense. In this sort of match, it's a lot harder to do that, but it's the same sort of structure, same sort of style that needs to happen. You need to kind of be in a position to strike, but not be struck. There's a roll-up attempt here by Julia, trying to steal the victory. And could have potentially lost the match there. This is not elimination. It is first to a fall. It's the champ. Kai has Julia in the ring, drop down. Tries to set up for a maneuver, but Green gets involved. This is something you realistically have to expect. A lot of targeting towards Kai. Dakota is the current champ. You don't want her to retain. You certainly want to be the one pinning her, regardless of the fact. But the good thing about a match like this, Kai does not have to be the one that's pinned, as she's actually going to try and steal the victory for herself there. That roll up. As I was saying, Kai does not have to be involved in the finish to lose her title, as she just spikes Roxanne with that Hurricane Rana, busts her open. Kai now targeting like a Tongan twist. Alexa Bliss, German suplex from Julia. All 5 women, bar I'd say Roxanne and Bliss, showing their offense as simultaneous maneuvers. Chiropractor by Dakota, setting Bliss up, looking for the victory here. Bliss though catches her and uncorks that left hand. Kai almost dropping it, Bliss onto that steel chair, but that steel chair's still going to be utilized. The action in the ring favorable for Kai, as on the outside Julia is taken out too. Only 3 women standing right now. Make it 2 as Bliss and Julia taking down the field. And the announce desk is going with it. Roxanne tossed into it, oh my. She's perched in a position that's not favorable, and Julia, I thought maybe was going to go flying. Maybe was going to go taking her out as a Rough Rider from Green. We saw her utilize that to pick up a victory over Asuka. Here she's so close to victory, but only ascertains a 1. Julia now uncorking shots as Kai has her up for the detonation kick. TDK connecting, and Kai somehow could still lose this match after landing her finish. Roll-up attempt by Roxanne. Roxy looking for a German, gets caught by Green. Tries to flatten her with the big boot. This now on the receiving end of some baseball bat shots. MLB season obviously has just started. And Kai, well, she's going slogging. Pop rocks on the outside by Alexa. Code red, whatever you want to call it. And now insult to injury. Alexa's utilizing her maneuvers. Perfect timing, I feel, because she's into the ring trying to strike on Roxanne. These 2 women wanting the gold, but Roxanne getting the better of Bliss. Chelsea in trouble. Super kick from Roxanne. In the eyes of Roxanne, looking to strike. Gets caught. And Green, she's been the catcher of all the finishers. Looking to punish Roxanne here. Is blissful DDT connecting. Missile drop kick connecting on 2. Kai's into the ring, looking to sneak the win. Roll up attempt. 1, 2. So close to the champion retaining. That's a roll-up into the submission. Kai has a locked it up. Could Green tap out? Somehow still alive. Julia into the Falcon Arrow. She does the deal. But the deal was not good enough. Contract was not signed, but Pop Rocks is coming and bought. Kai's down and out, and Julia's bringing in the chair. It's cleanup crew time. Julia looks to make the statement, rolls into pin. The referee can't get into position, which allows Bliss to break it up. Big time knee from Julia. And now, gut wrench into the driver from Julia. Kai, detonation kick. Pinfall attempt. Bliss breaks it up. Clearly, no love lost there from Roxanne and Kai. As Kai's been targeting, picking apart as Kai's head goes crashing into the chair. Julia almost victorious against these 4 women. Chelsea Green goes flying for Roxanne, connecting over the top of Bliss and Kai. Julia now in the sights of Alexa. Pinfall attempt here by Chelsea onto an already weakened Roxanne. She's going for it again, using the ropes this time. Kai in to break it up. She does not want to lose her title in this situation. You have to feel bad for Kai in this sort of matchup. Pinfall attempt. Bliss trying to win. 2 count. Julia breaking it up. The action in the ring is not favorable for anyone. Roxanne trying to take it out there. You have to think, as Kai's rolling to the outside, you have to feel rolling out puts you in a bad state of play. As Roxanne trying to pick up the ball in 1 count. Ascertained. As Green rolling to the apron. Roxanne planted in the middle of the ring as Bliss is tearing people apart. Drop kick to Julia. And now arm drag to Green. Is this Alexa Bliss's moment? Slapping, punching, and taking Chelsea's back. Kind of being passed around like a basketball by Roxanne and Alexa. But somehow Roxanne's the only woman to roll out. As Julia setting up Bliss into the German. The champion and Julia, the only women in the ring. Stomp from Kai into the kick. She's heading up top. The champion looking to seize an opportunity. Green's tossed in the ring. Diving cross body. The champ's into the pin. Looking to retain. 1, 2. Bliss breaks it up, but she's caught now. Into the detonation kick. A 3rd in this match. And Kai looking to be victorious. Into the pin she goes, but Green's back up. Breaks it up. Unpretty her. Down prettier. Chelsea Green. Pinfall attempt. Kai trying to steal it. 2. The champ almost retained. Chelsea distracted. And that could have been it. 1. Green tries to take the victory over Alexa as a roll-up into the submission. Julia's still in trouble. Kai looking for victory. Chelsea, you need to break it up. But somehow, still in this match, Chelsea side Russian leg sweeping the champ. Action on the outside. Favoring all these women as the champion being beaten up right now. Chelsea maybe thinking I'm prettier. Bliss caught on the top rope, slammed back down. Julia looking for a moment to strike, but Bliss gets stolen away by Green, who whips her into a kendo sticking Julia, who delivers a driver, sorry. May have been Death Valley, but who cares? Regardless, it was effective as the champions forced out the ring. Now it's just Bliss and Julia doing battle here. We haven't seen a blissful DDT in a while, but we don't really need to if it results in victory for Alexa. Roxanne into the moonsault, connecting as a sledgehammer strike, dropping Kai. Bliss somehow still fighting, still being a menace, breaking up so many pins in this match. She catches Chelsea, goes for the pin for herself. Julia the target, but let's be honest, there's too many women still in the ring for Bliss to win. Knockout punch bloodies a Chelsea. And now Kai busted open. I originally thought as the submission, the crossface, Roxanne has it in and gets the win.
Here is your winner, and new undisputed women's television champion, Roxanne Perez.
From prodigy to champion, it's been an up and down road here in IPW, but Roxanne finally holds gold, taking down the champion. And this certainly is setting an interesting field towards Crush, Crush, Crush. Champion is now Roxanne. How does Dakota Kai feel knowing the victory came in a unfavorable position? We'll have to see what happens as we bid you all adieu here at IPW. Thanks for joining me for Primetime. We head towards Breakdown this Thursday as we are 2 weeks away from the pay-per-view. I'm looking forward. It's hyped already as the match card's certainly filling up. I'll see where it goes as we'll see you guys then. Peace out.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings.
Honestly, that last match was an absolute banger.